This is a little spot I managed to squeeze my tent in across in here. That's why I have a small tent. Good morning, it is day 149. Yesterday, yeah, really neat day. Had a leisurely start, had some Trail Magic pancakes, had a lovely coffee. The Thirsty Cafe has the best lattes that I've had in this country. Did a Skype with the people who found my wallet. Wandered down to the Gear Expo, bought some shoes, bought a raincoat, and then spent nearly, I think it's 2 hours with some really neat people who had been watching my YouTube. And I left 15 to 30. I finally got back on trail, crossed the Bridge of the Gods, and that was the crossing from Oregon to Washington. And then the trail was relatively flat for a little while, and then started climbing up a hill, but the gradient was good. And actually, as I started climbing the hill, the track became a bit smoother because it had been quite rocky in places. And I was a little delayed by the blackberries, lots of blackberries to eat. So yeah, it's a nice day. Good way to just ease back into it with my new shoes and new inner soles. Today I finished climbing this hill, and then it's just little ups and downs for a while, and then I think there's another big hill or two to go. This is Washington after all. Yeah, so looking forward to another day and good being back on trail. Little clear section. Oh, the rocks up there. Woohoo! As you can see, it's a misty day up on the tops. It's not cold. I do have my shirt sleeve down, but I'm comfortable like this. So hopefully this will burn off at some stage. From what I've been told, Washington can either be this absolutely stunning state with magnificent views, or an utterly miserable experience with lots of rain and cloud. So it's a very weather dependent on how much you can enjoy your experience here. So fingers crossed that I'll get at least a little bit of the spectacular Washington that I've heard about. Gonna work for this hill. Track's not the smoothest and a little overgrown, just in a few places. Yeah. That's better. More power lines. Lets me have a view, but there's not a lot to look at the moment. That'll change. That's where I've just come through. Alright, that's the Columbia River way down there. Ooh, a bit of logging over there. I might have passed the high point of this hill. Nice area, lots of little flowers. I would do a panorama, but it's just mist. I hope this burns off today. I don't mind it today because I don't think the views are going to be spectacular, but it'll be very frustrating if it's like this in the beautiful areas. Bird trying to draw me away. Look at me, I'm injured. Follow me, eat me. Get away from where my babies are. Amazing spider web. Just look at it. And it's actually got the spider in it. There's the spider. Climbed up into the clouds now. Days just make the flowers pop and the greens seem just so much greener. I don't mind the odd misty day. It's not raining, but I'm getting wet just from the mist, and the mist is all collected on the vegetation which is across the track. So yeah, my shorts are a little wet and my shoes are wet as well. But not too cold yet, so that's alright. Almost looks like an animal, that tree trunk, because it's got the eyes right there. That's cool. Just met my first Sobo of the day, southbounder. He's been having tendinitis issues. He got one and rested it and it came right. Now he's getting the other one. So he's just contemplating what he's going to do, because he's going to have to rest again. So he doesn't think he's going to get through the Sierras before the snow hits. So we were having a good discussion about through hiking versus flipping, and sort of mentally what the difference is once you've had to do the flip. Yeah, so he's trying to decide whether he's going to skip parts of Oregon to try and get through to the Sierras, or he just stops before the Sierras and comes back next year. The northbounders that ended up flipping up and then coming south, yesterday someone said their nickname is instead of no bows, no snows, which is a bit mean. But he just said the southbounders are calling them dolphins, as in flippers, dolphins. Oh, it's mean. I've been very careful that to emphasize that people make the decisions that are right for them. Those that avoided the Sierras, that didn't have snow experience, made the sensible decision, and it must have been a really hard decision for them too. So yeah, everyone's doing their own thing for their own decisions. I mean, I've met people who went through the Sierras but have been taking some of the easier alternates. So to me, it is worse than someone that avoided the Sierras because they didn't have the experience, because they did it for a safety reason, as opposed to just didn't want to climb the hill or wanted to do less kilometres. Yeah, it's interesting discussion on trail. But my key philosophy, as I keep saying, is, does it affect me? Does it affect how I am doing my hike? And it doesn't. So what other people are doing around me is completely up to them. Doesn't affect me. So yeah, that's a good talking with on Friday. This came up with Susan and Patty, and I said, yeah, this is it's my life philosophy now too. You know, people are different, people do their own things, and I just leave them to it as long as it's not affecting me. If it starts to affect me, then I need to have discussions with them. But for 99.99% of the time, none of my business. A lot of things that way. No signpost, and that's going up that way. No signpost for my way, but there is a little PCPT marker. So the next big descent has started. So this is 1,500 feet over 4 miles dropping. It goes down to a valley, and then it's up the other side, 1,500 feet. So I guess this is Washington. Up and down. Trail's alright. A few bits where the gradient's been a bit steeper. I think that's probably the difference. In Oregon we were doing 1,000-foot, 1,500-foot climbs, but the gradients were very gentle for the most part, whereas I think Washington, the gradients are just a little steeper so far. And through to the trail.
Hi, I'm Noelle, trail name Lemonade. My husband is through hiking northbound. I did the first 400 miles and bought a camper van. So now I just go along the trail and meet him and get to meet awesome hikers along the way.
And she is a trail angel, because she doesn't just meet the hikers, she offers us popsicles, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, huh?
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a nice little bit of trail magic. And it was really neat chatting, because she's just bought the van. So we were talking about what it's like living in a van, because obviously I live in a van. My van's similar size to that one, so it's quite neat just seeing other vans, and this is her first time living in a van, so that's always exciting as well. Hey, and I got a nice popsicle as well. Alright, still heading downhill to the river, or creeks, where I need to fill up again. Here's another of these big slugs. Here's my hand for comparison. Just on its own merry little way. I think this is Rock Stream. I'm going to go to the next stream, which is in less than half of a mile. It's apparently the access is easier. Strange smell here. It's a chemical smell, which is not nice. Left the Cascade locks this morning, and she said she parked up on the Washington side of the bridge, just watched as there was a continual stream of hikers heading north. So my guess it was going to be really busy in the morning leaving Cascade locks is right. So that is why I decided to leave yesterday and get in a few miles. So hopefully by the time they catch up to me, they'll spread out a little bit more. But it's going to be busy on trail for the next a few days until everyone sort of shakes out until their normal speeds. That was where I sat for lunch, a beautiful creek filled up with some water, and just sat here, and that's the view I was looking at as I was sitting there. Almost reminds me of home. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Now I have a big hill. Trees are all grown so close together they almost look like one till they spread up. This is a beautiful trail. Yeah, still climbing, but quite enjoying myself today. I am really going easy. Absolutely no pushing of the pace at all. Stopping, talking to people, stopping, taking breaks. Just a real cruisy day. Well, a cruisy day apart from the really big hills I'm having to climb. Woohoo! This is a high point for this particular hill. Now I'm up and down for a little bit, and then a big downhill down to a valley and a river. Well, that looks like pecan pie, and that looks like chocolate pie. The trail's been in lovely condition for the last few miles. Yeah, it's not rocky. Well, it hasn't been rocky for a while now. Beautiful, lush and green. The types of trees has been changing. So this is a bit of a different area from what I've been in, but it has been beautiful and green bright green undergrowth, healthy trees. Yeah, it's been lovely. Great. People firing firearms. I hope they know where the trail is. Not overly comfortable with those shots. They are now sounding like they're coming in front of where I am. One must come here a lot to go to the effort of bringing in some pavers to provide footholds. Just met a Sobo, and that makes a grand total of only 3 Sobos today. Very well spread out, and it's 20 past 4 and no bows. There's a German girl that we played leapfrog for a little bit, but I'm ahead of her now. And then there was a guy that took off or passed me as I was doing water, looked to be going at good speed, disappeared into the distance, and then to my surprise a couple of hours later passed me again, and I don't remember. Well, I didn't see him stopped anywhere, so he must have gone off trail somewhere. And that is all of the people I've seen today. It's probably the least people I've seen for a long time. So I'm enjoying it while I can, because I know coming up behind me is the horde. So yeah, I think the trail will be busy again soon. Thankfully no more gunshots. Not nice hearing that without identifying where the fires are coming from. Oh, this is a good sized bridge. Oh, it's even sealed. Yeah, decent sized river, even at this time of year. And road crossing number 1. There's quite a few roads in this area. Little road walk. Little punk trail. That sounds interesting. There's a PCT marker, so along the road, somewhere up here, there'll be a trail. There we go. Back on trail. Ooh, it's an open meadow, and there's a cyclist over there. Good chat with a lady on the bike. That's a cool bike. It's an e-bike, but it's got these really fat tyres, almost like, well, even fatter than normal trail bike tyres. She's scouting, trying to find an undisturbed meadow for her tracking class, as in hunters learning to track game. We got into politics and the usual thing. Sort of people say they envy our current leader, and I said, well, that's sort of where she's really good, but we've also had a number of quite good leaders, so that's because it's not about money in New Zealand. There's spending caps during elections, so it's not the richest person has the best chance. It's about the substance. Yeah, right. So going around this big hill, which is in front of me, going around the side of it, and there'll be some more road crossings, some more creek crossings. Big bridge. This is the Wind River. Oh yeah, it's a big river. Alright. And that side a bit shallower. Just did my 17:30 distance review. 24.4 miles. So it's about what I was thinking, given how I've just taken it pretty easy today. Stopped and talked a lot. And I'm looking at a campsite in 2.2 miles. So that'll be a nice distance for the day. And this is why hikers ruin what trail angels are trying to do. So the bin's obviously full, but the Sobos, and I say Sobos because the northbounders have just come from either Stevenson or Cascade locks and don't have that rubbish. So the Sobos, instead of saying, yeah, it's full, I can't put any more in, have just decided to keep piling the rubbish up. So that means the lid can't go on, which means the animals are going to get it, which means it's going to be strewn all over the place, and the poor old trail angel who comes to pick it up is going to have to be picking up these little bits and pieces from all over the place. I mean, the trail angel's done fantastic. They've got a bucket with a solid lid and tied to a tree for the rubbish, so the animals can't get in it. And us hikers just go and ruin it. Now, there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. Because, yeah, there's just so much rubbish there. Such a shame. Alright, here's the road. Where's the trail? Ah, there it is. Whew. And across. So yeah, now it's 2 miles to get to some campsites next to Panther River. I can't go any further because from there the trail starts climbing up quite steeply, and the next available campsite will be 4 miles after Panther River, which is a bit too far for me tonight, especially going up a big hill. So yeah, I'll be camping by the river. Hopefully there's still spots left. This is the other new type of food that I am trying. Food for the soul, coconut rice and Cuban black beans. I tried 2 of their other flavours they had as a sample, but they didn't have this one, but it sounded really nice. Unlike the other one, this one actually smells nice when I opened it, and the packaging seems a bit lighter. Apart from the sticker on the back makes it heavier, but look at that, 670 calories. It's got some good fats, it's got some sodium, potassium, good, and 109 grams of carbs, so that's excellent. 21 grams of protein, so that's, yeah, really good. I do like the clear window in the packaging. Now this is pretty meaty, a lot of weight to that, so it's swelled up a lot with the water, which is great. And it tastes good too, so that is a winner. I really like that one. I'm not sure I'm even going to be able to finish this portion, but yeah, yum. Was a little expensive. It was on special at $9. I think it's usually $11, but I think I'd actually be able to split that in 2 because that's such a big portion. So that'll be good for a normal hiker with a normal hiker appetite.